Hello? Good evening, guys. Welcome. Got a lot going on here. Hope everybody had a good day so far. Thursday, February 12th, 2026. We'll get our scripted part out of the way. I guess night stream. Light a candle. What's good, B-Wall? How's your evening going so far? Get our scripted part out of the way. Welcome. So the Phillies. Sorry to hear that, B-Wall. You can always do the right thing. It's never too late to do the right thing. How about that? A lot going on. If you hear any crazy noises, there's like a cat that's outside. Gotta make sure my door's closed. There's a cat that's outside that's trying to fight my cats inside. What's good, Dan? What's good, JK? Welcome, guys. Welcome. The Phillies just released Nick Castellanos. I guess it was today or yesterday. Some stories out detailing, because we knew that. Absolutely, B-Wall. We knew that Nick Castellanos and the Phillies. Hey, Eliana, how was your day? How are you doing tonight? We knew Nick Castellanos and the Phillies had their issues. They were telegraphing they were trying to get rid of him all year. Elena, what's good? How's your evening? All off season, I should say. They said they were going to trade him or release him. So they ended up releasing him. And then a couple stories came out today. as JK's onto it. Castellanos brings the Presidentes. There's a whole bunch of new stories out about him bringing a beer into the clubhouse or into the dugout. I believe you were first to join. How were you doing on the Wordle, Eliana? I'm sure you were doing well. Let's go, B-Wall. That's the dedication. Thanks for being here, guys. We did release a video this morning. Our first, it wasn't our first Mount Rushmore short, but kind of our first Mount Rushmore short based on our own brackets that we've been doing. So we'll be doing that every week. Doing brackets and doing Mount Rushmore vids or top 10s or however we see fit, compilations. Anyway, Nick Castellanos, gone from the Phillies. They caught him. They owe him $20 million. $20 million. And they're like, we'd rather you go away. Conflicting reports. Nick Castellanos got out in front of it, released a couple statements of his own. One on the thanking fans, teammates. Welcome, JK. It was perfect timing. I was about to post the announcement when you said Night Squad. Perfect timing. Appreciate you guys being here. So, I guess the Phillies would rather see Nick Castellanos elsewhere, even if they got to pay him $20 million to walk. So I was thinking that could be the inspiration for our conversation tonight. Get a list going. They did keep Kyle Schwarber. They just re-signed him this offseason, B-Wall. So he's going to be here for a while. You got this, Eliana. You got this. So I was thinking in honor of this burgeoning. By the way, guys, I did preface at the beginning. You might hear some strange, howling type noises. Close, JK. Close. I was going to say top player versus team rivalries, right? We've done player versus player, but we haven't done player versus team. So the top player, when did one player, hate, go? It's kind of a la former squad style, Nick Castellanos is probably going to play the Phillies. No, it's not. B-Wall, come on, bro. No, I'm just saying there's a cat outside that wants to fight my cat inside. So they were just staring each other down, making howling noises right as the stream was about to start. But thankfully, Thankfully, it's calmed down a little bit. Okay, B-Wall. Got you. Hilarious. Got you, bro. List. So the list is starting now. We haven't even started the list. What's good, Tumbra? No, we're just starting it now. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We just released a video this morning on the top trash talkers in sports. Top trash talkers in sports. No, we'll get started on that list now. Top 10 players versus team rivalries. We're not going to do Wordle tonight, guys. Sorry to all the Wordle fans out there. I know What's good, Tumbra? Who won? Well, Tyson won that bracket. But we're starting a new list right now. No, Tyson won the bracket for top trash talkers. We did a bracket on Tuesday. Top quotes of sports. We got to start with Nick Castellanos versus the Phillies. And then I'll add one more. Obviously, Reggie Miller versus the Knicks. But we can go a lot of different directions with this, guys. You know? Yeah, JK, I mean, public... It can be... You can choose whatever parameters you want. Like Dan's saying, Crosby. It can be Crosby versus the Flyers, exactly. We can, like Nick Castellanos versus the Phillies. It can be either one. We'll get like Crosby versus the Flyers is a great one. That is a great one. It can be former beef. It's like depends. But Crosby versus the Flyers is a great. Crosby versus the Flyers is a great one. So it could be based on plays, things that happened on the court, on the ice, on the field. Could be like beefs from a player leaving somewhere, I think there are a lot of possibilities here, is what I was thinking. What's good, Z's? How are you doing this evening? Welcome from Tunisia. LeBron versus the Celtics. Exactly. Okay, we can put that on there. We've evolved, guys. Are we putting LeBald on lists? Right now we are. LeBron versus the Celtics. Rodgers versus the Bears is a good one. You're saying whole city of Chicago, JK? Rodgers versus the Bears is a good one. It's more exactly. I don't know if we're gonna. Is the Celtics LeBron's number one rivalry? Definitely Rodgers versus the Bears, or the whole city of Chicago. That's a good one. I don't know. The thing about LeBron versus the Cavs is he then went back and won a championship there. Kyrie versus the Celtics is a good one, B-Wall. That's a good one. Kyrie versus the Celtics. Where are you getting these? Kyrie versus Boston. That is a really good one, though. Baker versus the Browns, absolutely. Peter LaFleur, Patrick Waugh. Okay, Dan, tell me a little bit about that one. I don't think TB versus the Pats and Peyton versus the Colts. Those are, I don't know. Did Peyton have ill will towards the Colts? I don't know. CR7 versus Barcelona. Definitely Baker versus the Browns. That's got to be on there. Sorry, Cleveland. Sorry, Cleveland. Yeah, so inspired by Nick Castellanos tonight. He's got a burgeoning rivalry. Clemens versus the Red Sox. He did play for the Yankees. Habs goalie humiliated Waugh in net and then forced a trade out. All right, well, we got to put that one on there. Patrick Waugh versus the Canadiens. Harper versus the Nats. A decent one. So Messi versus Real and CR7 versus Barcelona. Machado versus the Dodgers. What's the beef there? Spectacular? Did I get everything, guys? What am I missing? Peter LaFleur versus Globo Gym is a good one. B-Wall's rapid firing right now. Got a bunch of them. Yeah. I won't put Ronaldo versus Man U loves Ronaldo, okay? So they let Waugh stay in years for like 8 or 9 goals. Oh, okay. Good evening, Clarks. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. I'll definitely put... Okay, so Machado. Nobody liked him when he played for the Dodgers. Okay, we'll put Machado. Figo versus Barcelona. Who's Figo? All right, we'll do Figo versus Barcelona. Machado versus the Dodgers. I don't know that backstory. Okay, I must have missed Latvia pulling their goalie. Haven't shouted out USA Hockey. Definitely shout out to USA Hockey. Getting the big dub. Shaq versus the Lakers. We could put that on there, B-Wall. I like it. I like it. I missed Latvia pulling their goalie. Ohtani versus the Angels. Did I put Figo versus Barcelona? Ben Simmons in the Sixers is a good one. Wentz versus the Eagles. Like, definitely, I don't know if I can put that one on there. Maybe. Ohtani versus the Angels. Do they still have beef? Deshaun versus the Eagles. But like the thing is, like he's still like really liked in Philadelphia. I think he did burn us, but I'll do Ben Simmons versus the Sixers. That's a good one. Single game. All right, I hear you, B-Wall. I hear you. If you're pounding the table on that one, I'll put it on there. Definitely Ben Simmons versus the Sixers. All right. All right. I hear you. I hear you, bro. It's going to be a low seed. It's going to be a low seed. Joe Carter versus the Phillies. Burrow, Joe Cool versus the Chiefs. What's good, Gianni? Andy Reid versus the Eagles. Jordan versus the Pistons is a great one. Spectacular. Definitely Jordan versus the Pistons. That's a great one. Are you talking Joe Burrow, Joe Cool versus the Chiefs? JK? Point guard Trae Young? You mean Trae? Which point guard are you talking about, Tombra? Not Trae, right? Joe Cool. All right, I'll put that on. I'll put that on there. I'll put Joe Carter, Phillies. LeBron versus Toronto is a good one. I'll put Shaq versus the Lakers on there too. We'll see. Probably only one LeBron will make it onto the bracket. But LeBron versus Toronto was really good. Starks versus the Pacers. It's a good one. Great one. Do we put Andy Reid versus the Eagles on there? I don't know. I mean, he's like one of the best coaches in Eagles history. And I feel like it was just time there, you know? Yeah, what's good? This is definitely... I mean, it doesn't have to be American stuff. We do have Cristiano Ronaldo makes an appearance on this list. Figo, I don't even know who Figo is. Messi does as well. But it's... What's good, Heaven? Welcome. How's your night going? We're talking top 10 player versus team rivalries. I think Reggie Miller versus the Knicks will do well. Appreciate you guys being here, guys. Throwback Thursday. Got any sports going on right now? KD Thunder is a good one. No, we do Wordle, Daniel, but not right now. We'll do it tomorrow again. Coach K versus the Heels is a good one. We could do coaches versus it's like individual versus an entire team and or organization. So we can do Coach K versus the Heels. That's a good one, JK. Congrats on the new place, Heaven. Appreciate you being here, Daniel. Everybody, guys, KD Thunder. That's a good one. Also, Coach K versus the Heels is a good one. Gruden versus the Raiders is a good one. We might... Andrew Toney versus the Celtics definitely goes on there. The Boston Strangler? Browns versus winning seasons is a great one, B-Ball. That's a fabulous suggestion. What's good, gardening? Welcome. Well, take it easy tonight, Heaven. Don't get too high on sugar. Yeah, that's, believe me, JK, they're having that question right now. What, Browns versus? No, B Wall. It's a good laugh, but it's not actually a suggestion. Hey Juliet, how are you doing? Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna put that one on there. LeBron versus the Cavs, just because it's like, it. Cleveland. He got Cleveland their championship, so I'm sure it was a busy day. Hope you're doing well, Juliet. Thank you for being here. Happy Valentine's Day. Early happy Valentine's Day, guys. Well, congrats, Heaven. Watson versus the Browns is a good one. JK, is he still rostered? Like, where is Deshaun Watson these days? Along that line of thinking, we'll put Bynum versus the Sixers on there. Also, I want to put JD Drew versus the Phillies. Also, we can put who's the guy that didn't. No, B Wall, you're that doesn't work. It doesn't work. The Stroud versus the Texan. Well, he's still the QB there, right? They haven't made any moves yet. Not a bad suggestion though. B Wall, B Wall's got the. Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. JD Drew, who was Cutter Gauthier versus the Flyers? Uh, how did What was the team that drafted Elway? Definitely Belichick versus the Pats, JK. Absolutely. That has talk about Final Four potential. That has one. They hate each other now. Like they hate each other. His girlfriend's wearing shirts or something like that. Okay, it was Trae Young. Trae versus the Knicks. Trae also cooked the Sixers as well. I didn't know he had a whole thing with the Knicks. Cutter Gauthier, I think, is Bob Probert versus the Blackhawks. Throwback to Bob Probert. Let's go. Still got to make a Bob Probert video, guys. A lot of videos to make, obviously. We're getting there. No. Blackhawks? You said, right? Chip Kelly versus the NFL. Dan, I got Cutter Gauthier versus the Flyers. I feel like that's something you might be proud of me of. Who was the team that like Eli Manning versus the Chargers? The thing is, the Chargers fans don't even care, you know? Like they're not. I don't know if they're not enough Chargers fans, but like Eli refused to play there. Didn't a team draft John Elway and he refused to play there? What was it? The Colts? Baltimore Colts versus Elway? I don't know. It's before my time. Before my time. Ed Ogeron. Josh Allen versus the Chiefs. How about Ray Allen versus the Celtics? Definitely Ray Allen versus the Celtics goes on there. We can put on basketball's Benedict Arnold, Ray Allen. What did you just say? Elway was Baltimore Colts. Did they have beef though, JK? Because the thing, Eli in San Diego, that could have been a beef. B-Wall, you're being a little loose with the definitions right now. Ron Artest versus the crowd. Josh Allen versus the Chiefs. You want me to put that one on there, B-Wall? Versus the fans? We'll see. I'll put it on the list for you. No guarantee that it makes the final bracket when the committee makes its cuts. Artest versus what? Pacers fans? No, Detroit Pistons fans. Okay. I put it on. It was in the Malice at the Palace. I got you, bro. Okay, it was beef. Okay, good call, JK. You got this. Appreciate the knowledge being shared, guys. Ed Ogeron versus. I think I never really knew how to say his name. Ed Ogeron versus LSU. Where did that beef come from? I know, like, he won a national championship there. Sam Hinkie versus the Sixers is a good one, especially because I'm a Sixers fan and all. So there's a lot of history there. That is a good one. DK versus the Lions is a good one. Well, I got it on there, B-Wall. It's on the list. Artest versus Pistons fan is on the list. Bartman versus Chicago. Do we do Bartman versus Chicago? I don't know. I don't think so. Sam Hinkie versus the Sixers. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. AB versus... What's up, Adam? How you been, man? I think we had, what, AB versus... AB? We'll put AB versus them. He did walk off the field. That is a good one. He did walk off the field. B-Wall, we got that on there. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Talking top 10 rivalries. We got OGs in the house. Top 10 player versus team rivalries. When Breeze versus the Chargers is a great one, JK. That is a great one. Let him go. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much the Chargers fans care about that, but definitely fits the bill for what we're looking for tonight. Started out thinking about this because Nick Castellanos just got released by the Phillies. There are conflicting reports about, the Presidente in the dugout. It's just too bad. I mean, I guess it turns out to be a bad signing for the Phillies. They got to eat the $20 million. He'll go somewhere else. I mean, so we'll see how he does. Phillies better hope Adolis Garcia does well in his place. We'll see. Got any sports on tonight, guys? Bucks are playing the Thunder right now. We got a classic former squad matchup on Amazon Prime tonight. Luka versus the Mavs, but I think Luka's still out with a hamstring injury. Not sure. Anthony Edwards and child support. Don't know about that one. Who did you discover, B-Wall? Who did you discover? Guys, thanks for being here tonight. Doing well, Heaven? What are you talking about, B-Wall? What are you talking about, bro? I'm gonna. Oh, Aristides Aquinas. Does he have beef? Definitely gotta put Goff versus the Rams is a good one, JK. Isaiah Thomas for getting left off the dream team. All right, we'll put that on there. Goff versus the Rams. Do we put Luka versus the Mavericks on there, guys? Is that worthy? I'll put it on there. We'll see if it ends up winning. I don't even know if it's a rivalry, though. Jordan was the one who kept off Isaiah Thomas. We still got to make an Isaiah Thomas. B-Wall, I don't know about that, bro. Kobe and the Kings. Yeah, the elbow to Mike Bibby. That is, if you look at all time, that is our #1 made video, #1 watched video. 100 likes. B-Wall, you got to whip it up, bro. I mean, fine. I'll do 100 likes. What, you name the terms, maybe. I'll see if I agree to it. Kobe versus the Kings. I don't know. Maybe. Got it. You're right about throwing up a poll, B-Wall. Absolutely. So USA Hockey did get the dub today. 5-1 over Latvia. Canada won 5-0. I guess we'll do... we never finished this poll. What would... who knows what's going on outside, guys. Did have a good poll this morning. Appreciate everybody for joining the live streams, guys. Valentine's Day this Saturday, guys. Will it ever be warm enough to golf out again? I don't know. I don't think the snow's gonna melt anytime soon. You didn't give me any suggestions. We didn't finish this one. This one ended early, B-Wall. We only had like 30 minutes on this one. I know. We'll throw up the... I guess we do need more. Elena says we need more data. Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for voting. We do need more data. We need a new barber? Nah, bro. Maybe, though, actually. Guys, remember when it was John Lester, Josh Beckett, somebody else? There's been beers in dugouts before. I don't know. Did they let maybe Josh Beckett versus the Red Sox? Is that worthy of this list? I mean, they got 2012. Jackie Robinson versus the league. We did name Jackie Robinson our most indestructible athlete. I just don't know if that fits the bill here. It might. It's a good suggestion. Thank you for the suggestions, guys. I just don't know if it fits because we're talking player versus team. We're talking Jackie versus the whole league. Invisibility or ability to fly. Would you rather go a night without sleeping or a day without waking up? I mean, I'll put these in the backlog, B-Wall. I don't know if Josh Beckett versus the Red Sox. I mean, I don't know how much beef they had. Sam Darnold versus Ghosts. We'll put it on the list. Maybe. Lane would rather go a night without sleeping. I did do a day without waking up, guys. One time I was really sick and I slept for like 20 hours or something. I guess it counts. What's good? Kong, welcome. Guys, Former Squad Evening Edition here. We'll do another bracket soon. Do another bracket soon. We did one on Tuesday, determine the top sports quote of all time as you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Quoting Michael Scott, quoting Wayne Gretzky. All right, I hear you. That's a good poll. We got 6 people would rather go without pizza than coffee. Pete Weber? That was on the bracket. It was on the bracket. It did not make the cut, but that was in the bracket in the top 32 sports quotes of all time. Good evening, Kasha. How's your evening going? Thank you for joining. Best of luck, Max. Hope it goes well for you. What is... Some Zoolander quotes? Let's go. Sleep. What is this sleep stuff you speak? Guys, sleep is very important. Gotta get your sleep. Sorry. Gotta get your sleep in there, guys. That's very sweet, Kasha. Hope those cards are going well. Listen to B-Wall. He's the married man. Well, I would listen to B-Wall on this one, Max. He's the married man. I'm not the one to go for on advice here. For advice. Be yourself. Now that's it. Appreciate you. Hitman Sniper. Be yourself no matter what. There we go. Bobby Bonilla versus the Mets. That's talk about Final Four potential. That's got the Final Four potential right there. They're still paying him, right? Believe they're still paying him. What about... we got to put Anthony Rendon versus the Angels. I mean... I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know how much they care about the Angels over there, but he basically, I don't even know how many games he played. Appreciate you, Hitman Sniper. Appreciate you. Chase Utley versus the Mets is a great one. We do have Ronaldo on here. Appreciate the advice, JK. Everybody, guys, appreciate the advice. Thank you for all the support. Love the advice, Sniper. Be yourself. Chase Utley versus the Mets is a good one. He took out... That was when he was with the Dodgers. All right, we'll put Vince Carter versus the Raptors on there. Chase Utley, when he was on the Dodgers, who was it? He took a slide late. I forget what player he took out, but he took him out. Pat Burrell versus the Mets too. Appreciate you guys for supporting me. We do have a Discord. It's been going really well, guys. Thank you for being active in that. You guys are the best. Best squad ever. Yeah, Chase Utley took out. I forget. We can look up at some point what Mets player that was. I should remember it, but I don't. Russell Wilson versus the Broncos is a great one, JK. That's a great one. Vince Carter versus the Raptors. We do have CR7 on here. CR7 versus Barca we put on there. Tony Romo versus the playoffs. We gotta do I don't know. I guess it fits. I guess it fits, Dan. Russell Wilson versus the Broncos is a great one, though. Okay, it was Ruben Tejada. Appreciate you looking that up. Spectacular. Derek Carr versus the Raiders. All right, I got to catch up here. Russell Wilson versus the Broncos. That's a great one right there. Derek Carr versus the Raiders. What's good, Milla? B-Wall's hammer. Valhalla out tonight. Jerry Jones versus reality. This is a good one. Okay. Derek Carr. So not Derek Carr versus the Raiders? You're saying not to Derek Carr versus the Raiders? I don't think I put it on there yet. I did put on Russell Wilson versus the Broncos. That was a great one. Jerry Jones. Watch out, Kasha. The Cowboys hate is coming out. Guys, we got a pretty good list so far. Cowboys fans catching strays. Carr versus O-line. Maybe Carr versus the Chargers too, right? You know? Because the Chargers were the ones who... Remember, he called the timeout. They could have both... Carr has beef. They did him dirty. Don't feel personally attacked, Kasha. It's just it's the nature of it. It's the nature of the beast, maybe. We're not... I don't know how to say it. Not a Cowboys focused stream, you know? Like, we're not Cowboys fans necessarily. Not out to hate the Cowboys necessarily. But it's all love up here. It's everybody love everybody up in this chat squad. No inter squad rivalries here yet, hopefully. ELE, it's true. The Browns is rough. I don't think we've ever done that. I said we can be really loose with our definitions of as you can see, it spans from on-field stuff to off-field stuff. NFC East was not that good of a division this year. So I think spring training is getting underway, guys. Baseball's going to be here soon enough. Did I put Brady versus coach? AI versus practice? AI versus practice? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't think I can put that on the list. How many we got? No, we already got enough for. Okay, that's a good one. AI versus the Pistons. I forgot he was even there. What are you saying, B-Wall? Remember 210? What you talking about, bro? Definitely, we'll put AI versus the Pistons. I forgot he was even there. Oh, the guess the count game. That's right. That's right. Elena counted it up for us. What's good, Bias? Welcome. Got a favorite sports team? Len Bias? Maybe? Maryland Terrapins fan? I don't know. I don't know, guys. AI versus practice. AI's practice rant did make our bracket for top sports quotes of all time. Eagles fan. Well, you're in good company here, Bias. You're in quite good company here. Welcome. Welcome. Should Nick Sirianni be on the hot seat? Does Jalen Hurts deserve an extension? What are your thoughts? It was 190. Liv versus well, we could do Phil. How about Phil versus the PGA? We could do like Phil Mickelson versus the Giants versus Dable. Where's the beef there though? Didn't they just fire him for like underperforming? We'll do Phil Mickelson versus the PGA Tour. That's a really good. I mean, that's a little bit OP because it's him versus the entire tour. But that's a really good one. It's a really good one. The entire fan base hated him. Okay. All right. Well, we're probably in like I would say in the 40s to 50s right now. I'll do a quick scroll for you. Maybe 40s. Maybe 40s, right? Probably just about 40. I'll put Dable versus the Giants. No guarantee he makes the final bracket, but I hear you. I mean, if we're talking Kevin Patullo versus the Eagles, I mean, I'll put that one on there. They egged his house, the Eagles fans. If we're saying Kevin Patullo versus the Eagles. Mayweather versus Harry Potter is funny, JK. That's hilarious. Again, I don't know if we can put that on there. I don't know that one, Kasha. Sounds like a good one, though. I'll put it on there. Where does he play now? Tavares versus the Islanders. We do have some hockey representation. We've got Crosby versus the Flyers. I'm gonna put Scott Stevens versus the Islanders. Hopefully Dan's not here right now. Versus the Flyers. Flyers fans. Islanders versus Jim Schwartz versus the Browns. What are you saying? Low seed potential, B-Wall? Which one? DiPietro versus the Islanders. Good one? Question mark? Dan's here. Hopefully he didn't hear me mention he who must not be named. Jim Schwartz versus the Browns. Absolutely, JK. That's relevant too these days. He penned him a letter, didn't he? He's the biggest draft bust ever. I do have JD Drew. Josh Gordon. Was he like the first pick in the draft? I guess I kind of remember him. Jamarcus Russell versus the Raiders. Talk about biggest draft bust ever. That's a good one. Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon versus the NFL's old school P-test mentality. I don't know. It's a good one, B-Wall. I don't think so. It is a good one, though. Jamarcus, that is a good one. You got to give me credit on that one. Basically stole money from the Raiders, they say. What's good? Oh, shit. We still have this poll up. Thanks for voting, guys. Guys, it seems like coffee's a necessary type of thing. Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon versus the Red Sox is a great one, Kasha. That's a really good suggestion. Johnny Damon. Baseball's Benedict Arnold in many ways. How could you leave the Red Sox and go to the Yankees? What you talking about, B-Wall? He had to cut his hair and shave his beard for George Steinbrenner's rules. Per George Steinbrenner's rules. Cut his hair and everything. I've watched highlights of I've not even that long ago watched highlights of Jamarcus Russell in college at LSU. The guy was insane. The guy was insanely good. I thought he was going to be such... Larry Bird versus the Lakers. That's a great one, JK. Do we put Magic versus the Celtics on there as well? No way. DiPietro still on the books. If you go back and watch Jamarcus Russell's highlights, the guy looked like he was going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever. I really thought I thought he was going to be so good. That is true, Kasha. It is everyone versus the Lakers. We do have a couple of those contract disputes. Like JK was saying in the beginning, like the dead money. You know, we got Bobby Bonilla versus the Mets, DiPietro versus the Islanders. They're probably Russell Wilson versus the Broncos. I mean, I think that's a great one. Breeze versus the Chargers is a good one. Allen versus the Celtics is a really good one, I think. Artest versus Pistons fans. Belichick versus the Pats. I mean, that one's really good too. It's devolved. KD versus the Thunder. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We definitely have enough. Briz versus the Flyers. Well, welcome, Alex. Hope you're having a good evening. Wherever you're coming at us live from. Appreciate you being here. Briz versus the Flyers. Is that more of one than Bobrovsky versus the Flyers, Dan? Did we do the top lifers, guys? I wonder, Kasha. It is a great suggestion. We got Alex Gang up in the chat. Let's go. Appreciate you guys being here. No, it's all love up in. It's everybody love everybody. That's the rule on this squad. Fahad. B-Wall, you want the smoke? Well, welcome, Alex Taylor. I think we did Lifers, JK. Pretty sure. Gonna have to look it up. I'll do the look up in the background. Let's look up our. Let's go to our bracket HQ. Let me see. Uh-oh, guys. No, we're all on the same team here, guys. No fighting. We did Lifers. We'll go a little side trip to our bracket. Top lifer of all time. Let's get that up. That's right, Kasha. If we can have, we had a lot of cashes here today. We had a lot. This is our top lifers of all time bracket that we did. Kobe versus Bird. Look at the committee's really gotten a lot better. Some of these rankings, guys. It was Kobe versus Iserman. Appreciate you guys being here. It's all love up in here. Kobe. Okay, it was Kobe versus Magic in the finals for the top lifers, and Magic ended up winning. I think I cast the tie. I don't know if I cast the tie-breaking vote or not. Steve Iserman, the captain. So we did. Unfortunately, we've already. I mean, we can go back and revisit that at some point, but never gonna like 2 Lakers lifers in the finals. Shocker. Alex versus Johnny? No, it's we're all one big happy family up in here, Fahad. B-Ball says, good thing I ain't named Alex. I know. Good thing I ain't named I know, B-Ball. Appreciate you guys. One big happy family. Let's go. Squad. No intra-squad rivalries yet. I think we got a decent amount, guys. I don't know. Do we need any more? Probably not. Probably not. I think we got enough. I think we're. I mean, obviously we can keep tossing them out as we think of them. But I think we got a pretty good list to do a bracket. Now, okay, JK's, yeah, that's a good one, JK. Really versus baseball, too. Really versus baseball as well. We got, yeah, there are definitely some more. I don't know, just trying to think of like. We got Kyrie versus the Celtics is a really good one. That one might go far. Like, I'm just trying to think of like the most raucous like crowds booing one player when they get back, when they either go back or go there for some reason, you know. Ayuk, that's a good one, JK. That is a good one. Ayuk versus the 49ers is a really good one. I think they just like released him, right? Or something like that. I didn't even know things went so far south with their relationship. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. And what other sports are going on? Maybe any college stuff, guys? We haven't really. I don't think we've touched on a single college. Scott Norwood versus the Bills is a good one. We haven't really touched on any. I guess we do have Coach K versus the Tar Heels. Wide, what is it? Wide right? Wide left? I'm trying to think of some more Johnny Football versus, how do they feel about Johnny Football versus Cleveland? Carson Wentz versus the Eagles. Carson Wentz. Oh, yeah, I think B-Wall suggested that earlier. We got to put that one on there though. Carson Wentz versus the Eagles has got to go on there. Might be on there twice, but just make sure it's on there. Dabo Swinney versus NIL. I guess Clemson's gone real downhill ever since the old NIL money started. Eli versus the Pats is a good one. That's a really good one. I mean, he cooked them twice. One of them being the best team of all time. 2009 Patriots. Referring to, guys. It's a really good list so far, guys. Thanks for helping me put it together. Definitely a lot of material here to use and draw from. Saban versus the Dolphins is a great one, JK. Nick Saban versus the Dolphins. I think he only spent one season there. In between his stints at LSU and Alabama. I think we're actually half decent. He probably didn't want to be in the same division as Bill Belichick. Brady and Belichick. Decided to go to Alabama. I think that was probably... Is that the best? It's one of, if not the best, runs ever. Saban with Bama. That's a good one. Vontaze Burfict versus the Steelers is a good one. Especially because they hit him back, you know. Love that one. I'll never be able to not picture those hits. B-Wall, thank you for sharing that. Never be able to get those hits out of my brain. So we'll cook something up, guys, based off of this stuff. Do our Mount Rushmore. And work out, guys. AB can't get him out either. It's true. It's true. Bo Schembechler. That was Michigan's head coach, right? Bo versus Ohio State. What's good, B-Wall? Oh, you changed your hair, bro? All right, guys, this is a really good list. Jim Schwartz. Sorry, Jim Schwartz, you didn't get the head coaching job in Cleveland. Went to Todd Monken. And definitely Woody versus Michigan. If we're going to put Bo versus OSU. Let's go, B-Wall. Back to go. What's the difference? Back to being Super Saiyan? Because Woody's the one that got canned after he got in the fight with the Or he punched the player, right? Wasn't it Woody was the one that punched the player? What do you mean, Jerry Jones versus the Cowboys? Like, we did say. We did say Jerry Jones versus, like, I don't know. I mean, he's not. He actually wants to win, don't we think? Bobby Knight versus Chairs. Bobby Knight versus Purdue, maybe? He hated. I don't know. Bobby. Yeah. Bobby Knight versus Chairs. The thing is, Jerry Jones, I truly believe that Jimmy Johnson. Now, Jimmy Johnson versus the Cowboys. That's, yeah, we'll put that one on there because they did him dirty. I mean, and that's like basically a replacement for Jimmy Johnson versus Jerry Jones, which is the real beef. But we can say Jimmy Johnson versus the Cowboys. No, okay, that's what you meant. Okay, got you. Got you. Got you, Spectacular. Appreciate you guys being here. Jimmy Johnson. Anybody? All right, we got to maybe a couple more colleges, guys. Like, there got to be more. JJ Redick. They hate him anywhere? Did they hate him at, like, UNC? Uh-oh. We got to. Uh-oh. And you love the jersey, Kasha? Who is it? Troy Aikman? Or the guy? I did have a Troy Aikman. I did have a Troy Aikman book, like a picture book. What's good, Jack? We're making a list, Jack. We're making a list for a bracket we're probably going to do next week. Zion versus Nike shoes. That is a good one. Jack, we're making a list. Top 10 player. This is a good one. Top 10 player versus team rivalries when things went south. So all these players or coaches, right, have rivalries with like a whole organization or a team, or they did them dirty one way or the other. And we'll do a bracket to determine what's the number one player versus team rivalry of all time. Thanks for being here, guys. I think the Tar Heels fans hated JJ Redick. I'm going to put JJ Redick versus the Tar Heels. I'm pretty sure they hated him there. Is he the most quintessential Duke player of all time? JJ Redick? Maybe just one D in that. I'm not sure. Beal versus the Wizards. They got beef. I'm not super familiar with that. I'll put it on the list, though. How do we feel about the Wizards' new dynamic duo? Anthony Davis and Trae Young? We think they'll ever? I don't understand, Kasha. Okay, Grayson Allen. Good call, JK. Grayson Allen. That's who I was thinking of. Good call. Grayson Allen. Good call. Thanks for keeping me locked, guys. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, JK. Kyle Kuzma was really good when he first came in the league. Really good. Aren't there got to be? I don't know if. Never mind. I don't know if we want to get into that stuff. Grayson Allen versus the Tar Heels is a really good one. He's still getting in fights these days, Grayson Allen. Hard-nosed player, though. I mean, I think he's a guy you would want on your squad. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not personally, guys. I'm not all that bullish on the Wizards' chances with their new dynamic duo of AD and Trae Young. I don't think it'll. I don't know. Sixers lost by 50 yesterday to the Knicks, though, so I don't really have much, to talk about. Joel Embiid sat out. They're just in a tough situation. It's like they should have traded Joel Embiid. He's actually playing great right now. They might have gotten somebody. Okay, JJ's Duke's. Okay, got you. JJ's Duke's golden child. Okay, I didn't understand for a second, Cash, and now I do. I got you. Yeah, we'll do Tony. I was thinking, JK, that you're right on the money, bro. I was thinking we got to do something like racing related. Tony Stewart versus NASCAR. We could do that. Does Kurt Busch have any rivalries with anybody? I don't know. We can do Tony Stewart versus NASCAR. No guarantee it makes the final cuts, guys, just because, we'll see what happens with how the bracket turns out. But I do think that's a good one. What else we got going on tonight, guys? In the world of sports. My Pitt Panthers are 9-16 this year. They're going up against UNC on Saturday. Yikes. Wow, Milwaukee's beating OKC at halftime right now. I think it's a good one, JK. We got out on there. Uh-oh, guys. We still live? What just happened? What just happened, guys? Think we're still live here, guys. Think we're still live? I don't know what just happened. I don't know that one, but I'll put it on the list. If you could tell me anything about Vettel versus Red Bull, I'll put it on the list. I don't know anything about it, though. Red Bull Racing, I assume. I don't know. We're missing at least. We don't have too many soccer guys on here. We do have CR7 and Messi on here. We don't have too many other soccer guys, I don't think. We're talking top 10 players versus team rivalries when things went south. We got a lot, guys. We got a lot. What's good, B-Wall? Barry Sanders. What's Kelly's beef with the city of Detroit? How about any good player? Yeah. Lions Hall of Famers versus the Lions. Lions Hall of Famers versus the Lions. So Barry and Calvin had similar, similar departures from the Lions. If Kelly's, we'll say Stafford's versus the Lions. Two drivers for Red Bull in 2010, very heated. Lions, yeah, we'll say Lions Hall of Famers versus the Lions. All Lions Hall of Famers all didn't work out. Vettel and Weber were drivers for Red Bull in 2010. Heated. Okay. That's a cool story. Didn't know that one. So we can put it on the list. I think that fits. I think that fits. All right, guys. I think we're as you guys can keep tossing them out as you think of them. I think we can put that list away for a little bit though. Definitely gonna do a bracket on that next week probably. Also gonna do. We're thinking top 10. We'll do a bracket of the top sports movies of all time. Do a list and bracket of the top 10 sports movies of all time. I don't know. When's the Academy Awards coming up? Is that coming up anytime soon? Maybe Oscar week? Simmons versus... He shoots with his wrong hand? Yeah, you gotta... Yeah, you can't... It's the 3-1-3, right, JK? Can't disrespect the 3-1-3. I didn't know she said some stuff out of town. Interesting. I didn't know you felt strongly about the Lions, JK. The Lions, I kind of just root for the Lions. They they still haven't been to the Super Bowl. Yeah, we'll do so. I mean, that's another good one. Kasha, you're taking strays. Does Rex Ryan deserve a spot on any of these lists? Well, definitely we've been trying to do the top. We'll do the top 10 sports movies as well, and we can discuss top 10 fictional characters with that as well. Love of the Lakes. Got love for the Great Lakes. Another Cowboys jersey just for B-Wall. Sanchez versus the Jets. I'll put that one on there. Marky Sanchez. Guys, I actually had hope for the Eagles when they signed Mark Sanchez as their quarterback. Darnold versus all of his former teams. The Warriors didn't trade Draymond this year, but they were talking about him. Word was he might get moved. Does Harden have any beef with any of his former squads, or it's more that's like Draymond's versus the Warriors, like Jordan Poole and Steve Kerr? We could maybe put Draymond versus... I mean, they've had a lot of success, but... They've had a lot of success with him there, but it has not been without their share of controversy. Harden versus Elimination Games is a good one, B-Wall. Josh Rosen... It's hard to tell, Cash. It's hard to tell. Oh, and you're right. And he got suspended in the finals. Okay, well, I put it on the list. CP3 versus the Clippers is a great one, JK. That is a great one. See, the haymakers come out after we put the list away, usually, from time to time. You know, that's a great one. See, I mean, that's this year, too. CP3 versus the Clippers. Harden versus the Rockets. One of the most iconic fail sports plays ever, the butt fumble. Harden versus the Rockets. Really, Harden versus the Sixers too. You know, he got into huge beef with Daryl Morey when he left town. I didn't put Hinkie. I'm going to say Harden versus Sixers. I'll say Hinkie versus Sixers because that was suggested earlier. Again, we'll see what ends up making the final cut. Absolutely, Joshua. Appreciate you being here. Angel Reese, that's a good one. Great one, JK. Again, haymakers come. What about Caitlin Clark versus, what was the team that was beating up Caitlin Clark? Clippers versus Blake. I'll put that on there for sure. The Romo when he was holding the, I'm sorry to bring up the harsh memories, when he was holding the, still had his duties as placeholder, holding the kick. You know it, B-Wall? Appreciate everybody being here tonight, guys. Did drop a video this morning. It's pretty much, we'll see. We'll see. Brady versus Raiders. Ironically, he is now part owner of the Raiders. You know? So I don't know if we can put that one on there, though, you know? I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but now he's like a owner of the Raiders. He's been part owner for years. Okay, like what? Like 5 years? Okay. Mark Davis haircut. Me and Mark Davis both need a haircut, Dan Flynn. Appreciate you being here. Kasha, you been cleaning up? Oh, I got you, bro. I got you. All right, I'll put Brady versus the Raiders on there. It is an iconic. Dan Flynn, we were discussing, I'll bring it up for you. We were discussing top 10 player versus team rivalries. What's good, Kavtia? Top 10 player versus team rivalries brought along by the Nick Castellanos versus the Phillies rivalry. They just released him. There conflicting of reports about a beer in the dugout. Let's go, Dan Flynn. Sounds like a good practice. What was the focus of practice? You're saying you don't think he keeps playing for the Pats? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I agree that it did jumpstart the dynasty, but I don't know if they move on from Tom Brady necessarily. It was a Presidente. Presidente's loving the free press today. They're loving the free press today. They're like, they've never gotten, I don't know, but like, what's he doing? He said his side of the story is it doesn't even really make sense, you know? He said he did it. He copped to it. He did cop to it. Yeah. See, I agree, Dan Flynn. I do like Castellanos. I think things obviously went south. Clearly. I mean, it inspired this whole discussion tonight. He had some big playoff moments. He liked the moment, but the thing is he like you said, you can't have that noise. You can't have that noise. Can't be bringing a beer into the dugout. He was showing up his manager and the hitting coach, Kevin Long and Rob Thompson. There are a lot of reports out there coming out now today That would, if imagine one of your players showing you up with a Presidente in hand, Dan Flynn. I don't know. Cops might be called. That's what we're talking. That's what we're talking about. That's the whole. That's the genesis of this story. I'm in. I'm coming at you live from Philly, the Philly media market. So that would be hilarious, Dan Flynn. If one of your players should. No, but you run. They respect you. I mean, Nick Castellanos. Not a lot of great details coming out from like the Phillies like media perspective. The main storyline being in the Philly press is basically like he was a bad teammate. Their whole high school team did it fair. That's okay. JK's for it. I was also thinking back to like the days. Remember the days of like, who was it? Dizzy Pat, Josh Beckett. What was it? Who was with Josh Beckett with the chicken and beer? Remember they were like eating chicken, fried chicken, drinking beer, playing video games in the clubhouse. Pedro versus the Yankees. Gotta put that. Yeah, we gotta put that one on there. I wasn't on there, Dan Flynn. We'll put that one on there. But yeah. Well, congrats, Cash. That sounds awesome. So this is the story This is the story that generated the conversation for tonight. The Phillies just released Castellanos, who admitted to bringing beer in the dugout. Conflicting reports about his story doesn't make. I mean, he admits to doing it. A-Rod versus pick a team. Yeah. I mean, which team would we pick, though? If we had to pick one, which one would we pick? The moms are needing the Presidentes from the bleachers. Now, guys, I don't even drink, and I could go for a Presidente right about now. It's a good name. It's a good name. Boston. Okay, Boston. A-Rod. Yeah, that's a great, very true, Dan Flynn. I'll put A-Rod versus Boston on there. He kind of showed him up, though. I mean, I got respect for A-Rod, guys. I know that's a little controversial. I think, they threw at him in Boston, and then he hits a 2-run home run later in the game. JK, I hear you, man. It's a good point. Yeah, but it was basically, the thing is though about the Presidente, it was like basically a prop. He was basically like using it to show that he was kind of showing up the manager who had just pulled him in the 9th inning for a defensive replacement in a 2-0 game. It's just not a good look. Really not. And then he had like a long consecutive game streak, so then they I don't know if they suspended him or sat him for the next game, but he broke his consecutive game streak. I don't know. I could see the guy doing pretty well. Like his role now going forward is probably as like a platoon DH. He's not much of an outfielder. He's a right, could put him up against left-handed pitching, but somebody's going to pick him up. Somebody will pick him up. Phillies offseason, very meh. Very meh. Basically running it back with the same team. They did make some bullpen acquisitions, but we'll see what happens, guys. He's going to play baseball, JK, don't you think? I think he's going to go play baseball somewhere, Probably for a major league team. I mean, the other team doesn't have to pay him anything. It's a lot of Presidentes, absolutely, B-Wall. Absolutely. I don't know what our final count is, but it's probably close to 64. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that bracket. I have never been to spring training, Kasha. Definitely something I would. Nationals would take him gladly. You think, Dan Flynn? Dan Flynn has been to plenty of spring training. And spring training just started, guys. Talking baseball. It's first days of spring training right now. Pitchers and catchers. He was a really good hitter. Not really for the Phillies. But the Phillies just couldn't. I mean, they were telegraphing that they were going to release him all season. Or all off season. Or trying to trade him. But obviously nobody. When they were saying that they would release him instead of trade him, I mean, people are just going to let him release him. I don't think that. Is this the last night before the All-Star break for the NBA? It might be. Yeah, it is. All right, guys. Tonight's the last night for basketball. Did not know that. Last night for basketball before the. It does sound like a blast, Dan Flynn. I would like to go. We'll go in the future. All-Star, it's a good question, Kasha. I don't know. I guess the NHL's on. And what's happening with the NHL right now? They're just on bye. JK, your facts, man. Facts. Where is the All-Star game? I don't know. So the NHL is just straight up on hold for the Olympics. Where is it? In Inglewood, I guess it's in the Clippers arena. They're the Intuit Dome. The Intuit Dome, guys. That's where the NBA All-Star Game's going to be this year. Guys, thanks for being here tonight. Great stream, guys. Great week of streaming. Year. Appreciate everybody for joining the live stream. We need more curling beefs. Absolutely. I wonder, we could do like Olympic beefs. I like it, Dan Flynn. I like it. Head coach. Who would you say, Dan Flynn, who would you say your top coaching influences are? Doesn't have to be. You guys are on the same wavelength. Best squad ever. Todd. All right, guys. We made a great list tonight. Tanya Harding. Jesse Owens versus Germany. We could put that on there. Jesse Owens versus Germany. One of the top Olympic performances of all time, 1936. Berlin Games. I didn't put Jackie versus the league on there. I don't know. We'll see. Jesse Owens versus Germany. No way, Kasha. Wow. Different Jesse Owens. Interesting. Dan Flint, so some personal influences. Calipari? Calipari have beef with any of his former any franchise Calipari? Rick Pitino? Rick Pitino got beef with any of it, like the Knicks or the Celtics or something? Didn't they can him? Belichick and the Browns as well, right? Or the Jets? Belichick has a couple. Belichick hates what, the Browns? The Jets? Roy Jones, what happened there, JK, with Roy Jones Jr. versus the Olympics? But that, I don't know if that was PJ Carlesimo with the Warriors, I believe. But I don't. Yeah, we'll say Calipari versus Temple, really meaning John Chaney. Hoot hoot. Hoot hoot. Temple Owls in the house. What happened with Roy Jones Jr. and the Olympics? I don't know that story. The thing with it's the Latrell Sprewell wasn't that just like versus PJ Carlesimo? Ozzy the Traitor. Okay, well, all right, good. All right, we'll put that. I like it, Dan Flynn. 50 Cent versus Floyd. We'll get into another one that'll be like either player versus coach rivalries. That's a different category, and also 50 Cent versus Floyd, like athlete versus celebrity rivalries. Latrell Sprewell was, not going to lie, guys, was one of my favorite players growing up. He was on that Knicks team, 1999, I believe, that went to the... All right, I'll put it on there, JK. It's on there. My bad. Latrell Sprewell was on that Knicks team with Allen Houston, Patrick Ewing, maybe, Larry Johnson? All right, that was one of my favorite teams. We'll say a prayer. We will say a prayer. I like the idea. The PJ Carlesimo Latrell Sprewell vid would probably do some numbers. Patrick Ewing is a good one. Yeah, I was a big fan of that Knicks team. And I think they had Latrell Sprewell on there, I believe. I hear you, Dan Flynn. He was a great player, great scorer. And Patrick Ewing was one of the Monstars in Space Jam, along with who? Sean Bradley, Muggsy Bogues. Did they get Chuck in there too? Charles Barkley? Melo versus the Nuggets? We'll put that on there. What did they have I don't really recall. Did they have a tough breakup? Guys, going back to the 03 draft. Muggsy Bogues. Shout out Muggsy Bogues. Brian Shaw was the one who... All right, Dan Flynn, I'll look for that. Thanks for shouting that out. Brian Shaw. Melo hates George Karl. He was... That's a good one, then. I like it. Melo was such a good scorer. Just Messi demanded a trade situation. That's right. Melo versus Knicks. Yeah, they traded their whole. Yeah, what, Danilo Gallinari? I mean, I remember that trade. Danilo Gallinari was in that trade, I believe. Muggsy Bogues. You gotta have respect for Muggsy Bogues. I believe it's got to be still the shortest player ever to play in the NBA. I mean, nobody's taken that crown, right? Well, that's very cool, Kasha. Is he most known as a Raptor? I don't really know Muggsy's career history other than the fact that he was what, 5'4"? Yeah, and that's why yeah. New York's got mad love for Melo and vice versa, I believe. Like, the Knicks fans loved him. I mean, honestly, that's as close as they've been. I know the Knicks are pretty good right now. But honestly, when they had Melo that's a good one, JK. That's a good one. We got to find that for you, Kasha. Muggsy Bogues. Gilbert versus the Wizards is a good one. Because he might have been asked to leave the team after that whole incident. Muggsy Bogues. All right, did we name all the Monstars? Muggsy Bogues, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing, Chuck, Charles Barkley, and one more, right? Muggsy and Manute Bol. Now that's it. Maybe we do that video, Dan Fleming. Another good video, Muggsy and Manute. 5'3" and 7'6". Meta, we do have that on here, Kasha. We do have Meta World Peace on our test versus Pistons fans somewhere. And it's a good suggestion. Shout out B-Wall suggested that. Where is it? It's on here. Our test versus Pistons fans is on the list. Meta versus Hart. That is one of our most watched videos. We do have that one, Dan Flynn. We got A-Rod versus the Bears. Shout out Kevin Mackey, R.I.P. to the GOAT. The OG crackhead coach of the first Cinderella. Who was the fifth Monstar, guys? I'm forgetting one. Barkley, Muggsy, Sean Bradley, Patrick Ewing. There's got to be one more. What, who, me? No, I've got my Eric Lindros token in my hand. I don't vape, guys. I did say Sean Bradley, the skinny white dude. This tall, skinny white dude. Lamar Odom. Great basketball player. Great. One of the best role players I've ever seen for Kobe's Lakers teams, I would say. Like, in terms of role players. Was it Larry Johnson? Really? It was Larry Johnson. I believe it. No, I don't vape. I really do not vape. Really don't condone vaping. Say no to the vapes, guys. I do, at least. Personally. Larry Johnson? Guys, I have been using Google more, just straight up old school Google. All right. Larry Johnson. It was Larry Johnson. All right. What team was he with at that time? Most loved player. All right, that's a good one. Like fan favorites. That's a really good suggestion. I like it. All right, I like that as a suggestion. Scalabrini would fit that on there. Hornets. Larry Johnson. See, I knew Larry Johnson. He had a. He was also on that Knicks team, like I was talking about, that I really rooted for. That Knicks '99 team. He had like a 4-point play in that game, or in one of the games in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think. Barkley wins. I don't. Is Barkley even on this though, J.K.? He might not be. Or are you talking fan favorites? Are you talking for our fan favorite bracket? I don't know. Do we? I don't, Barkley's not on our list right now. I know. I never saw. You said Barkley versus the Sixers, B-Wall. I know. But like I don't know what was the beef there, B-Wall. Like they just I mean like they just traded him. He still lives in he still has a house in Philly or in the area, you know. He's really beloved in the Philly area as we know. So that's why I didn't put it on there necessarily. He is that true? I he was so his highlights from his early days, Auburn. Okay, good. Okay, Dan Snyder, Dan Snyder. That's a good one. Round mound to rebound. All right. Well, we'll see if Barkley makes the cut. Dan Snyder versus the Commodores. Barkley versus the Sixers. We'll see. Jerry Krause versus the Bulls. We'll put it on there. We'll see what gets cut down. But I think Jerry Krause could for like what? For the end of the dynasty? For what happened after the dynasty crumbled? Or disintegrated? I don't know what's the word. What the word to use there is. We'll see, JK. We'll see. He hasn't won a bracket in a little while. He pulled the plug on the whole op. Yeah. Yeah. I put it on there. I put those on there, guys. We'll see if they make the cut, guys. I'm probably going to be 32 team bracket, I'm thinking. We'll see. We'll see. This week's was really good, guys. Thank you for voting in the polls, figuring out the top sports quote of all time. We gave it to Wayne Gretzky. We gave it to Wayne Gretzky. Gotta keep you guys in a little bit of suspense. You know, can't give it all away at once. Guys, the nose is recovering slowly but surely. Nose is recovering. No attacks tonight. Thankfully, it calmed down. We didn't hear any. We didn't hear any cat fights or anything like that going on. So that's good. Really good, actually. You should have heard the sounds that were going on. So you should have heard the sounds that were going on before this stream started. I don't know about that, JK. I don't know. Well, here's the thing, B-Wall. If I let other people decide what I'm going to wear, then it would be hard for me to be me. And that's a big part of this stream is like me being me. So if I were to make a poll for figuring out what signature, then I would be giving away like what makes me me. So I don't think we're going to do that. I don't think we're going to do that. Freeman versus the Braves. I mean, he should have been a lifer. So you're a Dodgers fan, LA fan? Have been wearing the hoodie and the hat pretty much every day. Pretty much. Guys, there were some streams back in the day I would dress up for all real nice. You know? I can still, I mean, like I said, keep you in some suspense. I mean, you probably are going to see me in a hoodie and a hat, you know? Most likely. That's what I feel most comfortable in. Dodgers, Lakers, Raiders living in LA. Or living in NY. I'm like, LA? Okay. How interesting background. Interesting. My bad, guys. My bad. So we made a good list tonight, guys. Made a really good list about top 10 player versus team rivalries when things went south. We'll be doing that bracket next week. Also, I don't know, when's the Academy Awards? When's the Academy Awards? Not till March. I don't know. I was thinking we would do our top sports movies of all time, coinciding with I was going to do our top sports movies of all time coinciding with the Academy Awards. I don't know if we'll be able to wait that long. Detroit hates Claude Lemieux. All right, we'll put it on the list, Dan Flynn. Claude Lemieux versus Detroit. It's a good one. Raptors, Leafs, Jays living in Toronto. I am a 4-for-4 Philly guy. I'm a Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, Flyers. Sports movie quotes. Well, it was a great World Series. It really was. Blue Jays versus the Dodgers was a classic World Series. I was rooting for the Blue Jays, guys. Was really rooting for the Blue Jays. Didn't work out. Dodger. Well, that's another topic we got to get talking about here at some point, guys. Is the it's not going to happen this year, but upcoming labor dispute. Upcoming labor dispute between the MLBPA, Players Association, and MLB. It seems like it's almost certainly going to be a labor stoppage next year. It was a great series. It was a great series. I was rooting for the Jays. Trey, you savage. That's a good one. I don't think we've done best dynasties or best repeat performances. It's tough to go back to back. That's another good suggestion, Kasha. I don't know if you do, B-Wall. He might be going in the first round, though. The thing with it, but that's the thing, and that's why the Dodgers are playing by different rules, kind of, as the rest of baseball. Worked out for them the last 2 years, and maybe it's going to work out again. I don't know, B-Wall. I think if you do that, he might you might curse him, just so you know. You don't know me very well, viewer, but welcome. Welcome. Good call, JK. I played that on stream on Tuesday, Dan Flynn. It was like the most cursing that it's ever happened on our stream. Happened when I was playing Lasorda talking about Bavacqua from our list of greatest sports quotes of all time. It's a good idea. March Madness is a great idea. Was playing the Lasorda versus Bavacqua. Yeah, good idea, guys. We'll get on that. Got to start studying soon. You know, March Madness is coming up. It's probably my favorite sports tournament overall, guys. Would be March Madness. Not because, like, I don't know, just because I love those 2 days when it's just straight basketball from like all day long. So yeah, we'll try. The March Madness would be fun. We could put that together on Discord. I like that idea. I love that idea, guys. Great game. They care so the players care so much, and it seems like obviously like with still dealing with all the NIL stuff, but yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't think there's a better tournament, JK. I really don't. I mean, what? It's one and done. One and done. Done for the glory, or at least, excuse me, in the old school, done for the glory, for the love of the game. Interesting, guys. Interesting stuff. Thanks for having this conversation with me tonight, guys. Best squad ever. Me too, B-Wall, and that's kind of the problem about doing the bracket, It's like I only really watch the tournament, but then like want to do a bracket, but that requires prerequisite knowledge. It's a good point, JK. It's a good point, man. They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't even know about the legend that is Kevin Mackey. Well, that's true, B-Wall. Not mine. It's true. It's a good point. There are always upsets, and there's it's true. It's the one thing like, and it's happened twice now, right? 16 seeds beating ones. Sorry, B-Wall, UVA. It was the first time that ever happened. But any team can beat any team in any given game. You're kidding. I believe that, JK. I believe that 100p. It's all right, B-Wall. You had a national championship or two sprinkled in there, bro. You guys are all right. You had a couple one seeds, I forget. But they also won the Natty, though, B-Wall, They also won the national championship as well. I think they lost. I think you're right. I think they also lost as a 215, maybe. Top 10 named sports moments. All right, I like that. I like that. John Beeline and Jim Larinaga. Well, yeah, and Tony Bennett left B-Wall. I mean, how are they? I saw they were ranked kind of recently, though. I think they're having a halfway decent season this year. Not the same without Tony Bennett. Same thought. Agree, bro? Yeah, a lot. Yeah, Jay Wright, and yeah, they said no thanks to the NIL world. It's true. What's good? I'll take that as a compliment, Connor. Welcome, bro. Silver Fox. Silver Fox. Jay Wright? I don't know. Will he get an NBA coaching job? I agree. I'm with you, Dan Flynn. I got respect for it. Saban too. Saban's out, you know? I mean, I guess it was getting to his time, but can you remember them all, Kasha? They've changed like 10 times at this point. What's good? Welcome, guys. That was your personal faves of B-Wall's hair? Yeah, it's definitely the whole NIL stuff is not fair. I mean, it's college sports is like it's just not the same as what it was. We've talked about this before, guys. No loyalty, going from team to team. NIL deals, transfer portal, all that stuff. What's good, bro? B-Wall, you don't want the gray? You don't want the gray? Silver Fox vibes? That's a good question, Kasha. I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that question. Cuz it's like I feel like yes they should, but is it what's best for them? Maybe not. You were right, JK. That's why you tossed out what Dabo versus NIL, life under the NIL earlier. Yeah, I mean Harbaugh's out too. You know. Yeah, Cash. It's a good question because it's like I think they should be allowed to. Like I think the leagues should be allowed to make their own rules. So they could if the like right now the leagues. I hear you. And that's what B-Wall's saying. I'm with you, Kasha. Clemson done for good, guys? Is Clemson done for good? I don't know. I mean, the ACC is so weak. They might figure it out. ACC football. Oh, yeah. Signetti. Yeah. Well, one of the best coaching performances, if not the best coaching performance of all time. Welcome back, Natty. How you been? And that's the thing with like the NBA. It's like the players like takes them so long to develop. You know, if they don't go to college, unless you're a LeBron, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett. But it's like who's I don't know. That's why I'm okay with the leagues. Like the NFL has their rules, the NBA has their rules. I'm okay with the leagues making their own rules. I think that makes sense to me. I'm okay with that. I hear you. Siakam started playing basketball at 18. I did not know he started that late. That's crazy. Joel Embiid also started playing pretty late, guys. Thank you for joining our stream tonight, guys. We are probably going to call it kind of soon. A little bit soon. I can't, yeah, he's a great player. Former Raptor. Lily? What's good? Hey, Lily, how are you doing this morning? Welcome. Uh-oh. Hope you're having a good morning so far, Lily. Thank you for joining. I did not realize that Siakam started playing basketball at 18. Well, thank you for joining, guys. Great stream tonight. Yeah, watch out, JK. Day Squad invasion. Watch out, JK. Day Squad invasion coming out, guys. Kendrick Perkins hating on Siakam. Well, even still, 17. The fact that he starts playing at 17. Welcome, bro. Welcome, Hodge. How are you doing this morning? Didn't hear. Thank you, Lily. Definitely a great day. Day of streaming, guys. Thank you guys for joining. We are gonna call our night stream here at this point. No one. I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm gonna say goodnight on my end, guys. Lily, hope you have a great day ahead of you guys. Hope you guys have a great night. Thank you for joining. It's a great stream. Thank you for being a part of this list. I'll get our pizza poll is over. We needed more info on the pizza poll, guys. What would you rather go without, pizza or coffee? Turns out pizza got the dub. So everybody have a great night. Thank you for joining. Thank you for helping all the contributions, all the suggestions. Help us make this list. We'll do a bracket next week, guys, based on the list. All right, guys, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning for me. On the other side. Welcome, Pooja, from India. We are winding down our night stream here. Lily, I just ended the poll. I'm sorry. I just ended the poll. We're winding down our show. I'm about to blow. We do this sometimes on our night streams here, guys. Blow out the candle. We'll have a new fresh poll out tomorrow, guys. Time to... Coffee or pizza? What would you rather go without, Lily? Coffee or pizza? Blowing out the candle, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to be back live in the morning. Fun Friday. Good for you, Lily. I don't know if I can. You guys know me. Peace and love, guys. You guys are the best. And I'll be back on tomorrow. So everybody have a great night, guys.